We want to solve the system of linear equations. Notice both equations involve fractions, and therefore for the first step, we will eliminate the fractions from each equation by multiplying each equation by the least common denominator, which is the least common multiple of the denominators. For the first equation, we have 3/5 x minus 5/4 y equals 89/80. The least common denominator is 80, which again is the least common multiple of 5, 4, and 80. And therefore, we'll begin by multiplying the first equation by 80, or both sides of the equation by 80. And for the second equation, we have 1/5 x minus 3/4 y equals 109 240ths. 240 is the least common denominator. We will begin by multiplying both sides of the second equation by 240. Let's go ahead and show the products. Again, for the first equation, we multiply both sides by 80, which gives us 80 times 3/5 x, or 80 divided by 1 times 3/5 x, minus 80 times 5/4 y equals 80 times 89/80. And for the second equation, again, we multiply both sides by 240, which gives us 240 times 1/5 x minus 240 times 3/4 y equals 240 times 109 240ths. And now we simplify before multiplying. Going back to the first equation, 80 divided by 5 simplifies to 16. We can also think of 80 and 5 share a common factor of 5. There is 1 5 in 5 and 16 5s in 80. For the second product, 80 divided by 4 is equal to 20. So again, we can think of 80 and 4 share a common factor of 4. There is 1 4 in 4, and there are 20 4s in 80. On the right side, 80 divided by 80 simplifies to 1, or there is 180 in 80 in both cases. And now we multiply, which gives us an equivalent equation without fractions. For the first product, we have 16 times 3x, which is 48x, and then minus 20 times 5y, giving us minus 100y, equals on the right, we have 1 times 89, which is 89. And now for the second equation, again, we will simplify before multiplying. For the first product, 240 divided by 5 equals 48. Or again, if we want 240 and 5 share a common factor of 5, there is 1 5 in 5, and there are 48 5s in 240. For the second product, 240 divided by 4 simplifies to 60. Or again, 240 and 4 share a common factor of 4. There is 1 4 in 4 and 60 4s in 240. And for the product on the right, 240 divided by 240 simplifies to 1, or both contain one factor of 240. And now we multiply. We have 48 times 1x, or 48x, minus 60 times 3y, which is minus 180y, equals on the right 1 times 109 is 109. Now we have an equivalent system of equations without fractions, which we will solve using the method of elimination or addition. To do this, we want the x terms or y terms to be opposites. Notice right now the x terms are the same. We can make them opposites by multiplying either the first or second equation by -1. Let's multiply the first equation by -1, and we'll keep the second equation the same. Multiplying both sides of the first equation by -1, we have negative 48x plus 100y equals negative 89. And the second equation remains the same. And now we add the two equations together. Notice negative 48x plus 48x is 0, which is why we multiplied the first equation by negative 1. 100y plus negative 180y is negative 80y, equals on the right, negative 89 plus 109 is positive 20. To solve for y, we divide both sides by negative 80. Simplifying, we have y equals 20 divided by negative 80, which simplifies to negative 1/4. So for keeping track of our solution, which we express as an ordered pair in the form of x comma y, we don't know x yet, but we do know y is negative 1/4. To find x, we now perform back substitution into one of the equations that contains x and y, substitute negative 1/4 for y, and solve for x. Let's avoid the two equations with fractions. Let's focus on these two equivalent equations here on the far right without fractions. Let's go ahead and use this first equation to determine the value of x. So we begin with 48x minus 100y equals 89. And now we substitute negative 1/4 for y. This gives us the equation 48x minus 100 times negative 1/4 equals 89. Simplifying, we have 48x. Negative 100 times negative 1/4 is positive 25, giving us plus 25 equals 89. Now we isolate 48x. To do this, the next step is to subtract 25 on both sides. Simplifying, we have 48x equals 89 minus 25, which is 64. For the last step, we divide both sides by 48. Simplifying, we have x equals 64 divided by 48, or 64/48. The greatest common factor between 64 and 48 is 16. If we divide the numerator and denominator by 16, we can simplify the fraction. 64 divided by 16 is 4. 48 divided by 16 is 3. X equals 4/3, which indicates our solution is x equals 4/3 and y equals negative 1/4, which is the ordered pair 4/3, comma, negative 1/4. Before we go, let's verify this graphically using Desmos. To do this, we enter the original equations in Desmos and analyze the graph. We've already entered the equations here on the left. Analyzing the graph, we click on the point of intersection and notice how Desmos is only giving us decimal values for x and y. To check the solution, notice 4 divided by 3 is 1.3 repeating, and negative 0.25 is negative 1/4. Verifying the solution of 4/3, comma, negative 1/4 is correct. I hope you found this helpful.